Our first conversation on the program tonight is in relation to military funding, the budget, defense, and the National Assembly, the state of the nation, efforts of the Nigerian military in the theater of wars that we are experiencing in different parts of the country. I'm being joined by a former chairman of the Army Committee in the Senate, Senator Ali Ndume, who is live for us here in our Abuja studio. It's a pleasure having you join us tonight on the program, Senator Ndume.
Thank you, Sean. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to see you. What do you make of INEC's announcement? You see it coming, isn't it? Perhaps a lot of people will say, we saw, I mean, it's definitely going to be in February that elections will happen. But INEC is, according to the Electoral Act of 2022, INEC has done its own work in announcing the result 360 days before the next election.
I think that's okay, and it's not due. I think it has been like that for the past elections.
Mm-hmm.
So now that all these controversies like that have been going on, that election is being pulled by, dragged forward to this to 2026, now finally is put to rest, so that Nigerians can find another thing to talk about.
For a lot of politicians, elections preparation is not on the day that INEC makes this an announcement. Is the day that you win and one election, you start preparing for the other. In terms of performance, in terms of activities, you need to be in the faces of those who will vote for you. But we saw what has happened with you and your colleagues, and the Senate had come under intense scrutiny and criticism from a lot of Nigerians. Do you think that you and your colleagues did the right thing?
Well, I don't understand.
In the amendment of the Electoral Act?
Yeah, majority of us did the right thing. We had a hitch, somehow misunderstanding or undercut, let me say. But when Nigerians who are commendably vigilant called our attention to that, we immediately called an emergency meeting to actually do what Nigerians want. And I think that is the right thing to do. Nigerians are vigilant, and we now know that Nigerians are vigilant.
And you can't play with them?
Yeah, you can't play with them. If you play with them, it's at your peril.
But do you think that whatever you decided as Senate, as an arm of the National Assembly, do you think that is sitting well with majority of Nigeria? It doesn't look like a lot of people are still happy with that amendment. The fact that you have to give some kind of responsibility to INEC officials, which a lot of people had said, no, go with what the House of Reps' own version is, without having to give any kind of reliance on the discretion of any INEC official on the ground on the day.
Let me tell Nigerians, maybe that will give us a kind of comfort. We are a bicameral body. Any decision that is taken by the Senate, if not ratified or agreed upon by the House of Reps, will not work. You know why? Because the House of Reps are 360 and we are 109. In such cases now, like we did set up a harmonization committee to look at the electoral bill that we are processing. If the House of Reps stand their ground, then the Senate version cannot fly, because at the end of it, if we disagree, even at the harmonization, then the last stage will be to have a conference of all members, and everybody will answer his father's name. And looking at their number, we can't get anywhere. We are virtually like 1/3 of the House of Reps.
Are you worried that some Nigerians don't think that the Senate, the Red Chamber, is progressive in its approach to some of these issues?
Well, you see, I'm a senator too, sitting one. So it would be wrong for me to evaluate myself. I can only account for myself. And even that, it is the public that will judge.
But when there's a decision being made by you and your colleagues as a group,
no, you see,
and there is a perception of unpopularity of the opinion and the decision made, are you worried about that kind of situation?
Yeah, I'm a kind of worried, very worried. Because the Senate is supposed to be a deliberating body. I have complained several times that during our sittings, the Senate president is supposed to be a neutral person sitting down there. But when you make a mistake as a presiding officer of taking side, of look, seemingly to be taken side, then you are putting yourself in trouble. Because any decision that is coming out now, there's a confusion. And some people think that it is Opabio's decision. It should not be like that. It should be the Senate decision. Every decision we take should be what the senators want, the 108 of us, excluding Opabio. Because by him becoming the Senate president, he has lost some of his fundamental, privileges. That is to say, to even contribute is to be limited, is supposed to preside, over the Senate, not to be senator's president, but Senate president. Mm. And there's a mix-up in this.
And that needs to be corrected.
Yeah, I think it's...
Have you spoken to him about your concern?
I did. We are close, but, there are certain things that human beings do unconsciously or consciously, and you can't take that away. You can't change him.
You can't change Opabio?
No. He's not a small person. He's not a small boy. He's 60-something. And, the way he runs the Senate, sometimes I can say, well, if you take this life too seriously, but if you look at it, sometimes you think that Opabio is not serious. Everything he will turn it into like comedy. He will joke over it. But sometimes that helps to douse the tension. But when it happens most of the time, then it becomes some kind of problem.
I'm worried about you, and the reason I'm worried is so that some of your colleagues, younger ones, will not beat you. You're an elderly man too, because I saw the altercation that happened. It doesn't.
Between who?
The committee, the budget defense.
Between me and
somebody? and Senator Waboi.
Oh no, Senate is in a situation like that. It's normally because we are expressing ourselves, but I don't think it will degenerate to that level. Waboi is my junior; he knows that, and I don't think he has some problem of anger management. I can be very what do you say?
But they say you are provocative.
Yeah.
And you could be inciting in some of your words that get some other people provoked. Do you do it intentionally to get people upset?
You too, you do it sometimes, even here, severally.
Do I get you provoked?
Yes. No, not me. Many of your guests, you provoke them. You only bring them to set them up and provoke them.
No, that's not the intention.
In order to extract more from them. I think that is why you are doing that.
Yeah, well, to get information.
You see, so everybody has his own shortcomings. But Nwaboye cannot... he was just angry that we have not been fair to him, which is understandable. But the way he expressed himself, he went too far, because he was saying that Oshomole spoke for 15 minutes, and while he was trying to say his own, the chairman tried to stop him from doing that, and he got angry. But no matter how angry you are, the Senator anger is old enough, I believe, to be Nwaboye's father. So whenever you are in a situation like that, you try to control your anger, not to go too far. But I think he went too far. And I was trying to just calm him down. Then he reacted again. You know why? Because my thinking is that he thought I would support him. So when he discovered that I was criticizing, he got angry again. And it's understandable. But I don't think it will degenerate into that. But in the house, when we're in the house, we do a lot of,
But you were younger at that time.
Yes.
But this time around, if you got beaten, as your friend, I may not come and I may not be able to save you.
No, I don't pick a fight that I cannot win. Like you now, if you try me, I'll beat you up. Because I know I can beat you.
I'm younger.
Despite you are young.
Don't test me. We have a very big field at the end of this place.
At the end of this meeting, let's go out and you see how I'll deal with you.
My ability in taekwondo and the rest is...
No, I'll just wait for you because of your size. I'll pick you up and knock you on this rock.
Seriously speaking, Senator.
Before you know, you find yourself in ambulance.
Seriously, Senator.
Yeah.
I'm bothered about the disbursement and the spending and implementation of the budget of the military. But before we go there, you saw what the United States lawmakers are coming up about religious tolerance in Nigeria, and there's a possibility that they will impose sanctions. And people like Senator Kwankwaso, Mark Ban, and Mieti Allah are right in the line of fire based on the deliberation and the debate of the U.S. lawmakers. Are some of you possibly at risk of such a thing?
Yeah, but what I'm sure of is that Nigeria, despite the fact that this is a bill introduced that has gone through first reading in both the Senate and the House, I've been trying to get my hands on the copy of the bill and what it contains, and it's not yet, in the public domain, but it is only when I get the details. But I know the summary. In the summary, I know that the bill is recommending sanctions and even visa ban and confiscation of assets and all that. But nothing to worry about if somebody is actually clean. I'm surprised that Kwankwaso's name was mentioned, and I want to know how, when, and that he got implicated. So to say mention, and for him to mention just Kwankwaso as a former governor, I think, something maybe is cooking or fishing somewhere.
Maybe there are intelligence and information
no,
that some of us are not privy to.
Intelligence, I don't want to go into that. But the intelligence and information assets freeze and all that by the UK, America, and other developed countries is misplaced.
Really?
Left to me, if they can help us put their eyes on people of particular concern instead of country of particular concern. Nigerians, majority of Nigerians are innocent people, but there are a few people that are holding Nigerians' assets outside, and they know. And up to now, there's no good exposure into it. And I think that is a topic for another day. But once, after this now, that the Americans are helping us in terms of the fight against insurgency.
You're happy with that?
Yeah. It's a welcome development. We have been looking for it. We didn't get it. We made effort. But now that, we have an opportunity, a window that we must utilize. Because I've been coming here severally and complaining that our major setback in the fight against insurgency is team. Now America has agreed to provide us this team free of charge, which is a welcome.
And they are boots on the ground also.
No, the boots on ground. The boots on ground does not involve, engagement. Their troops are not going to...
In combat.
Yes.
Clearly. In physical direct combat.
Yes.
But they might be involved in technological or control.
In fact, they are not even going to be involved in command. They are going to work under the Nigerian army leadership or command. What clearly, I've gone, I asked questions, and they are going to help us do what I have been saying that is the major problem, especially the three factors: training, equipment, and intelligence. The major problem that we have is that of intelligence, surveillance, and
counterattack.
Yes. Now, we tried that before. We even tried to buy equipment, but the DHA law prohibited us, frustrated the process. But now the Americans are saying, okay, after this issue of genocide that came out, and then a contingent came to find out that, look, the issue of insurgency, terrorism is more than what they are thinking about, and they have also agreed that issue of genocide is not there. There is just that the terrorists are killing Christians and also killing Muslims and killing other people. Now they realize Nigeria needs to help, and they agreed to help us. These have been things that we have been begging for and we have not been able to get from the Americans, and now they are willing to do that. I think it's a welcome development, and we have to use the opportunity.
So
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy that the president himself or the executive are responding positively to it in terms of increasing the number of boots on ground. That is recruitment, promotion, and the other thing that is still outstanding is the issue of motivation, and that is the remuneration of the not only Nigerian armed forces, but other security agencies in the country, because Nigerian army and other security agencies in this country are one of the most, poorly paid. When you our police, army, SSS, immigration, and all that. Besides the fact that their number is not enough, they are not well paid at all. They are not well taken care of. Their welfare, you go now, you find buildings coming up everywhere, but it's not. If you go to barracks, if you see the condition, the police, the army, the navy are being accommodated, you feel sorry. Right.
So you are okay even with America setting up a base here?
No.
You are okay with America having some level of presence until we win the war?
Yeah. Let me get this clear. And that's one of the major problems we have in the country, and especially in the political or the elite class. The poor man down there in my village will welcome the American police to his house as long as he will have peace. He will sleep with his 2 eyes closed. But here we are when there's this offer, and people are saying, oh, if they come, they set off a base, and all these things is not something right now. Had it been that we have peace and we know that we can take care of ourselves, then you don't need anybody. But if your house is on fire, even if it's your enemy that will give you water to quench the fire, you have to take the water first, quench the fire, then you go back to whatever position you have with that person. But when your house is on fire, I think it would be stupid, so to say, oh, I don't want water from my neighbor, and while the fire is on your house. I don't think so. We have found ourselves in a very bad situation, especially in the Northeast, and now it's escalating, or it has gone to almost everywhere. We need that support.
Do you think that the efforts being made presently is working?
Not only working, honestly. You see, you know that I'm one of the critics of the government, both this government and the previous one, on the manner and the way they handle the issue of security, which is the main purpose of government. Because clearly the Constitution says security and welfare of citizens is the purpose of government. I have been critical.
Yeah.
But now, especially recently, the development also calls for commendation for the efforts that this government under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like now, he has declared a state of emergency in security, which is good. And then he has ordered the Nigerian army to increase the recruitment, I think giving them up to base of 50,000, but I think the expansion is, they have just doubled the number of recruitment after every 6 months. And then we hear of them acquiring platforms for the Nigerian Air Force. And the total budget for defense this year, I think the defense has the highest budget before the National Assembly, over 3.8 trillion that is proposed. The only problem that we have with this budgeting stuff is still the funding of the budget. It is beautiful.
The lack of implementation.
The
proposal on the budget is good, yes, but the money is not coming.
And the way the money is even coming is my big problem.
Could that be a setback?
Yes, a big setback. Because even last year, the 3.25 trillion that was allocated to them, the monies released to them is insignificant. But
what were they explaining to you that is the cause of the lack of funds? And it's not only in the defense, it's across board. We're having residue of 2024 budget, residue of 2025 budget. We are still dealing with 2026 proposal right now. What seems to be the problem of the Bola Tinubu government and issues of budgeting?
The major problem are those that the the president entrusted in implementing or executing these things. We have said, or I have said several times, and even the Senate in general, recently the defense people came before the Committee on Defense and were disappointed with the level of releases and achievement in the budget. And that is because when the president signed an appropriation act, that means he has agreed that these are the things that are to be done. And the other thing is the major problem is lack of proper prioritization of the implementation of the budget. As I said, security and welfare of citizens is the main purpose of government. Therefore, if it's to me, and I'm appealing to the president, to make sure that defense budget becomes a major priority. In America, they do that. Even when you hear of shutdown of government, the monies that are for defense, for security, for social welfare, for, I think, health, and also agriculture, these are called the non-discretionary spendings of government. That is to say, you cannot decide to say, oh, you are paying, or you are releasing or not releasing. So one thing that now the president needs to do is to make sure that the budget of Ministry of Defense should go under what do you call
first line charge.
First line charge.
No delays. No straight delays. It goes straight
in fact,
to them.
Once the budget is approved, no bottlenecks. The Minister of Finance has nothing to do with it. Only that once the time comes, the army people go to central bank and get their money quarterly or monthly. In fact, preferably quarterly. Because, you know why I say so? Because some of this equipment and major equipments and everything of the Nigerian army, except for their running costs, that is overhead, it's not off-the-shelf item. Even bullets, we don't manufacture it. You have to buy it from somewhere. So, and it takes time. It's not something that you can just place an order and get it. No. So if you have the money, then you buy for 3 months at least, or 6 months. Then you go and face your work. And another thing is, even the allowances spills over and salary. I was worried.
Senator, after the operation of the American forces in Sokoto on Christmas Day last year,
the eve of Christmas.
The eve of Christmas. Were you thinking that they would have done another one?
No, I called for it. In fact, I was.
So you want more of?
No, I was thinking that they would start from my local government in the Mandara Mountain.
In Goza.
Yes, because the Boko Haram, the ISWAP have dominated for the past 15 years. They have dominated the Mandara Mountain up to now. And we had wanted and have been calling that there must be consistent and sustained attack until they are all eliminated. That way our people that are still, in the IDPs down, under the mountain can go back. Because there are people who live in the mountains and farm in the mountains, but they have to run away. Boko Haram chase them. Up to now, there are some of them that are captives that normally escape and come down. So, but if that is done,
Sambisa, Goza area, and the fringes, Timbuktu,
yes,
those areas.
In fact, I'm speaking for my people, especially my own local government. If the 200 Americans that Nigerians are talking about now they are not comfortable, please let them go to my local government and stay and operate from there. Our people will be happy. I told you I can offer my house in Goza for them to stay, as long as we will have peace. You know what? For the past 16 years, I cannot go to my village, especially this time around. No. No matter what, even under escort, you don't risk going from Maiduguri.
It's under the control
even if I have an emergency now, even if my father and mother are all dead, but even if I have one of my own who dies today, I cannot just go like before. But before I come from Abuja here, decide to spend the night on the road and no fear. You drive from here without escort up to my village as far as you can. But now you cannot even go to Gwagwalada. You cannot even go to Gwagwalada this time around. So if we say that Nigerian army are coming in, or American army are coming in to help us, and as we can see results, that is another thing. We should see result. Like now, with what they are intending to provide, The issue of what happened in Kwara could have been, because up to now, nobody has been arrested, no trace of who did it. But if you have them, they are planned 3 locations, not based, so to say, but locations would be in Kanji. They are already there because our Tucanos, the A29 Tucanos, are based in Kanji. Then the other one is that they are operational. They are drones that they are, intending to have them where we have been crying out. That is to have drones and attack armed drones that can take care, so that if there is an incident, within minutes,
they can move there.
They can move there and take
rapid response.
Rapid response. Remember, lack of surveillance, equipment, and intelligence. Just recently, up to now, the brigade commander of Damboa in my senatorial district is still MIA. That is missing in action, since we have not seen. And just 2 days ago or so, a professor from the university, Nigerian Army University Bureau, Professor Mohammed, died in the captivity. And we could not get even his dead body back. So we had to perform his funeral in absentia. If we had intelligence, if we have surveillance, if we have, the equipment that will, do reconnaissance effectively.
Wow. Senator, before I allow you to go, 2027 election timetable is already here.
Yep.
You see what the ADC is doing. And they really have a strong plan in sending you and your colleagues in the ADC, in APC packing. They want to send you out of town. They think you are less popular right now. They think it's the time for the ADC to take over power in the country in 2027. Does it give you some kind of concern that time is up for your party?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah.
Even with Atiku and maybe a Peter Obi and Mechi,
because you know why?
Them?
You know why? The opposition, that is the new opposition, emerging opposition, is concentrating on election. That is my disagreement with them. We are talking about governance. The election time, even though it's drawing closer, is something that Nigerians are not, to me, even including myself. I'm worried about good governance. I'm more worried about the mandate. I'm not worried about taking over. I'm going into election too, myself. But I'm not particularly worried about winning the next election. I'm particularly worried about serving the mandate my people have handed.
And that's what they are capitalizing on. The opposition thinks
so that's why I said,
really serve the interest of the Nigerian people.
We are not, generally as the things look, Nigerians are not satisfied with what's going on. But I said several times that Nigerians would prefer to in Hausa, I wanted to say, they say the Sohon, the Sabon Guinea, Gara Soho. You know Hausa?
Yeah, a bit of Hausa. To stay with what they are familiar with rather than the unknown.
Yes. And but no, it's to say that it's better to keep your house, old house, than to abandon the old house and build another one. But ADC are now telling Nigerians that this house is going to collapse on us. So it's better you don't
leave.
You leave and come in today. So these are the kind of things going on. I believe that the president can turn things around, but time is running out.
But with what is on ground now, do you think if you go to the post today, do you think that the president can win?
Well, I'm not Babala or soothsayer. I cannot say that, but definitely the opposition of ADC should not be taken for granted.
Senator Ali Ndume, thank you so much. But I thought you have some spiritual powers, but now that you've told me you don't have one.
No, you are the one that is closer to the people. Yeah. You should know that. Are you telling me, or you are warning APC that, look, these people are too serious?
You have just said it, that the ADC should not be taken for granted.
I said it, no. No opponent should be taken for granted. You have seen what Obi did last time. Nobody was thinking that
You could pull that off.
Pull that number.
So President Tinubu should be worried about...
Yeah, we must. And that is where I'm worried with our members too. When you talk about, say, look, let's watch and do things and get things right for... Oh, no, don't worry. They keep on recruiting in governors and all that. I said it before. They may not like it. Again, that's my last listen. Politicians are decamping. But people are not decamping yet. They are not decamping, and that's the little comfort. People are not decamping to ADC, and people are not decamping to
APC.
From APC or to APC. So they are watching. And so if you take Nigerians for granted, then
you pay dearly for it.
Yes, because that was what happened during PDP. PDP said they will rule Nigeria for 60 years. They didn't know that it was for 16 years. And they thought money would work. It didn't work. But the good thing is, you see, this government, especially the Tinubu, you must give it to him. If you look at the programs that he rolled out for the past 3 years, they are commendable programs. But the problem is, I say this severally, that the people surrounding him, and those are the executioners, are people that more or less kleptocrats and kakistocrats. I say it again. And he has to look inward to see who are working with him. You know, I said it in one program that he succeeded in Lagos because he has a wonderful, strong team. Where are these people? Where are the Fasholas? Where are the Arigos? Where are the former vice president? Why is Akande not visible? Why is, these are people that would, if are constantly around, they will look at him and say, oh God, this is, do it this way, do it this way. But when you have people that, only few people, very few, that are with the president now, that can tell him and look at him in the face and say, oh God, this is not right, or this we do it this way.
Senator, you're sounding like a prophet now. Pastor Ali Ndume. Thank you so much.
I prefer Alaji.
Thank you so much. You come from a huge Christian-dominated senatorial district in Borno, but thank you so much indeed for coming. But I'll send you to a biblical college, a theological college, so you can learn the Bible and maybe convert you at some point.
No,
it will be good for you. And I will give you a good name. Should I give you a Christian name?
I have a Christian name.
You have one already? But I'll give you another one. What's your Christian name?
My Christian name was Samuel.
Samuel?
Yes.
Wow.
And it's better than what is your name?
Senator Samuel Ali Ndume, thank you so much.
Shehu is not in the Bible.
I have one.
I can even say you are not a Christian.
Oh God. I'm a child of God. Senator Ali Ndume. Samuel Ali Ndume. Thank you so much for talking to us.